In today's video, we're going shopping together at Turnstile Consignment Store. You're going to love it. Not only was it packed with clothing, but also my favorite hard goods. The prices here were so fair. Similar items at the Goodwill would have been $49, $89, $129. I want to bring you along and show you, and I picked up a real jewel. Let's go shopping together. Today we're going to stop into Turnstile Consignment Store in Plymouth, Minnesota. Let's go in together and take a peek around. I just wanted to begin with showing you the sheer amount of clothing and accessories in this store. It was absolutely packed. Men's, women's, children, tons and tons of clothing. And today there is a sale going on that's 75% off of anything with a red tag. I believe they do this twice a year, if I'm right. So leading into the spring months, they're trying to get rid of all of their winter clothing. And then I believe they do it once again in the end of spring, leading into the colder months. They'll start to get rid of all of their summer styles. And the last time I was in Turnstile, after 75%, anything left with red tags or the color tag is $2. So I have found some wonderful clothing items that I began by going into consignment stores and I would flip them, $2 tags, flipping on and reselling on eBay. So I haven't been in a while. The last time we were in this store was almost a year ago. We did consign some furniture here, and I actually bought our bedroom dresser at this particular Turnstile. I like their furniture. I like their home goods. You'll see as we go along, they have some really beautiful pieces. Right now we have a credit here, so when you consign, I believe you can either take a cash out at a lower rate or keep it in the store at a higher rate. So not only can you shop for yourself and for resale, you can sell your items here at a consignment store, which I've heard people have done really, really well consigning. Early on, when I was first learning about how to resell, I was following a woman on social media who would go to the Goodwill outlet or the bins, and she would bring a box in her car. And after she bought items, I believe she would do this at if I remember, a kids consignment store. She would put the items in the box just out from the Goodwill bins and bring them over right from there, not even wash them, bring them right over to her consignment store and drop them off and that was the way she made money. Now I know at this particular store, well, first off, I think you should wash your items, but at this particular store, I know it all has to be on hangers, and I think they only allow so many items and on certain days. So that wouldn't work at this particular consignment, but what I'm thinking is could be a method if you wanted to do some sort of reselling where you literally shopped in order to come to a consignment and bring it there that way versus a garage sale or learning how to resell them. I think there's money to be had if what you would want to try is picking up items like at the Goodwill bins and then bringing them over to these consignment shops. You know, you can see here, it's a nice store, and the items that they have are really quality items. And I know from consigning here that it'll drop down in price the longer that you have your item here, but they have gorgeous things. And I ended up picking up quite a treasure today, as you saw in my beginning screen. I want to show you when I found it, but I tell you, guaranteed, the items in here are nicer and cheaper than the Goodwill that's also very close, that's quite nice. The Goodwill across the street from Ridgedale Shopping Mall in Minnetonka. The items there and in the store I profiled in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, are so high in price, This store had just as pretty items, if not nicer. The prices were so much better. I don't know how much you would consider this vintage. They pick what they want. They pick what they think will sell. I don't know if you would consider this vintage, but high quality, gorgeous pieces. I love this rack. It's one of my favorite colors. I thought this was like one of those Marushka, those Russian nesting dolls. So I had to put the camera down and look at that and see if the top came off. It didn't. I believe it was just a doll type. There wasn't a way to undo that. I think that was Urban Outfitters, if I remember right. But that blue color is one of my favorite colors. So they curate their shelves by color, and pricing was very fair. I'm going to do a little music here and let you shop around with me, but I wanted to let you take a peek, and let's keep going. Of course, now that I say that, this looks like a vintage plate to me, so I take what I say back. There absolutely is vintage items mixed in at this turnstile. Here's where I found what I thought was a Jim Shore piece. They have a very distinct look. I ended up finding an actual Jim Shore piece. You'll see that as we go along. They can be worth some very good money. I remember as I was shopping when I got to this section, these were napkin rings. And I remember when I got to this section, I was thinking to myself, why would you ever go to Target? I am convinced now that I have spent so much time in thrift stores that if you're hosting a gathering, any sort of party, try a thrift store, consignment store first. You are going to find, I guarantee you, you are going to find much higher quality, more unique, better character, more fun pieces at a thrift store or someplace like this, like Turnstile Consignment. The things that people bring in and the things that get donated, much cooler. I'm convinced. I want you to try it. I am absolutely convinced you're going to like this so much better than traditional shopping or online shopping at Amazon. I knew it the minute I saw it. I talked about it when I thrifted at Able Light. I told you about this particular designer, Heather Goldmink. I picked one up. It's a candle holder, candle, you place a candle underneath it and the light shines through all the windows. I have never seen one like this. The tag was half price, $15 to down to $7.50. There's that Jim Shore. I did run a comp on this one. Some go for a lot of money. See, there's a look about them. If you ever run into Jim Shore pieces, be sure and run a comp on those. I just did a video on how to run comps when you're thrifting and in these stores. I'll link it below. It was the last video I just did. Some of you were asking how to do that. Here's another great example of the uniqueness of items that you find at stores like this. This was really awesome. It was like a purpley, heavy, plasticky resin. I don't even know how to describe it, but super modern, super cool. You don't find that in other stores. Consignment stores can be really, really a cool place to find what you're looking for. I thought that would be heavier. It was $25. Those lampshades were really cool. They had a lot of interesting lamps, most of which, half at least, were without a shade. But again, if you're looking for a lampshade, I know so often I'm an Amazon shopper too, but it's convenient. This takes more work, but boy, you're never sure what you're going to find. And I think if you're in the mood, it is worth a stop to take a peek at items that you don't find in everyday stores. You may be having a hard time finding the prices on some of those tags, but if you stop the video and you blow it up at that point, if you can't see it, you can blow it up. But the price tags were $4, $5, $6. The artwork was so nice. We have bought artwork here, and we've also dropped off artwork here. I think it absolutely rivals the Goodwill's artwork prices. I love these little Western framed pieces. They were so cute. I could see those in a kid's room or a kid's bathroom. I love those. I just thought the artwork was unique. There were a lot of different styles, and the pricing was fair. It just it I've been impressed the times that I have been in. I always stop and look for art pieces here. Look at these pieces. There was a jack and a queen. They were cards, playing cards that were framed so beautifully. And I'm like, oh, where's the king? There he is. There he is. Like, oh, if only they had a king. That would be so cool in a basement den rec room. I love that. This little sofa piece looked like it maybe was made by someone by hand. This caught my eye right away. It was heavy, and when I framed beautifully, I loved the colors in this one. When I turned it around, it looked to be like a tile. And I've talked about this before, looking for tiles to pick up and resell. That was stunning. I turned the corner and this print really caught my eye. It was so unique. I tried running a comp on the artist, but it was so well priced. And wouldn't that be adorable in a girl's room or a powder room? It was so cute. It was like friends going shopping. This was a pretty section. It had like brass items. And I remember my aunt collecting elephants. I think the trunk up meant good luck. There's another vintage piece. That was a gorgeous handheld mirror. So there was a whole little golden section in one part of the store. And this gold section was right next to everything that looked all springy and yellow. And I think that's part of why I liked shopping at the consignment store. Everything was done by color. It was just so aesthetically pleasing. So little tiny trinket dishes, and this store was packed with some really beautiful items. And it was right here when I rounded the corner and saw this globe. I will link the Dr. Lori video that I had just done. She talks about globes and how you should always pick them up. I didn't. But this standing globe, I was thinking about shipping it or putting it on Facebook Marketplace, but standing or any type of globe, very sellable. This was beautiful. This was up where you pay. These were all the little more higher end items in behind the glass. Some gorgeous pieces. So again, I would encourage you to shop at Turnstile Consignment. This particular one was in Plymouth, Minnesota. I think you're just truly going to love it here.